Hey guys, welcome to our space in your space. I'm Jess, and today we have a chair yoga flow designed to use the prop to help you get a little deeper into your practice, whether you're recovering from an illness or an injury, or maybe you're just starting your yoga journey. By bringing the ground up to us, so to speak, we can get a little bit deeper into some of the postures, get a little bit closer connection to the foundations of our body, and work with our breath to advance our practice. So when you're ready, grab a chair, preferably one that has a back but no sides. Grab your yoga mat and let's do this. All right, so today we're going to go ahead and start seated on our chair, putting your bum right in the center of the chair, feeling free to move the fleshy part of the bottom out of the way, so we can already start to find that connection of our sits bones pressing firmly into the seat. From there, we're going to look down to our legs, keeping them about hip distance apart, both at the hips, the knees, as well as the heels, toes pointing forward, and the feet are firmly pressing into the ground. Notice the difference here with the feet just touching the earth and how you can actively press them into the ground, how it assists you sitting up a little bit taller in the spine, and maybe even starting to turn on those corset muscles, as we like to call them, the abdominal, tightening everything into the center, once again supporting that spine sitting nice and tall. Take a second here, just roll the shoulders once or twice. Feel free to take it in any direction that feels good for you. Coming into a place where we can drop the shoulders away from the ears, palms rest gently on top of the thighs, and we just allow for the neck to become long. Close your eyes here. And with the next inhale breath, find that imaginary string in the crown of the head right there in the center, and let it lift you up a little bit taller with the inhale. As you exhale, let that breath come across the crown of the head, drawing down the back side of the body, feeling this grounding sensation as the shoulder blades drop down the spine, coming into a V together. And we feel the feet pressing a little bit deeper into the earth. Inhale breath, drawing it in through the nose, lifting the front side body, shoulders stay down. Exhale, coming across the head, down the back, grounding you in. Staying here with your breath a few moments longer, letting the dust of your day settle, letting go of any expectations. Maybe you're showing up to this practice as a first. Maybe this is the beginning of your journey with yoga. So maybe you're not exactly sure what to expect. I invite you to just be in the moment, continue to come back to your breath, and just listen to the sensations that your body is sending you. Or maybe you're finding yourself in this video coming back from a sickness or an illness. Either way, our body might be responding different to movement, even different to simply sitting and breathing than we're used to. So releasing any expectations, not being attached to the outcome of our practice, but being fully immersed in the moment is the true definition of yoga. So you're already doing a great job. Sitting up nice and tall here, we're going to start to find some movement, but don't lose that connection you've established to the sits bones, to the feet, drawing the navel back to the spine. On the inhale, arms are going to reach up all the way up overhead. Feel the side of your body open up. And then as you exhale, just let the palms face down. Fingers can move as you rain the energy all the way back down. Let's do that again. Inhale, press into the sit bones, press into your feet, get nice and big. Exhale, let it all go. Inhale, breath, reach all the way up to the sky. Now this time, as you exhale, slowly start to turn to the left. Drop your right hand to touch on the top of that left thigh. Let your left arm come to find the back of your seat. Inhale, that string lifts the crown, opens the chest. And as you exhale, gently press your palm into your thigh. Start to look past your shoulder. Being mindful here, we call it full body awareness. So clearly we're twisting out the spine, wringing it out. But we don't want to let the knees cave in towards center when we bring that resistance. So we keep that awareness in the inner thighs assisting or resisting a little bit that pressure of our palm on the leg. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, deepen the twist. Maybe turn the chin or the neck here to look past that back shoulder. On your next exhale breath, slowly release everything back to center. Hands come on top of the thighs. Now, as you inhale, I want you to lift your chest. Press it forward as you pull your elbows back. Feel the shoulder blades come together to kiss. Hands can come up close to the hips at this point and look up to the sky. Doing a seated cow pose here, feeling that expansion from one shoulder blade to the other. Now, in your exhale, the palms trace down the tops of the thighs. They find the kneecaps. Chin tucks to the chest. We round the spine. Think about lifting up from the center of your heart here, now pulling the shoulder blades apart. Inhale, breath, palms pull back on the legs, retreat back to the thigh or the hips as the heart lifts, shoulders, elbows pull back. Exhale with your breath, round the spine, chin to chest. Allow the hands to come down to the knees. This time, inhale, just come all the way back up, neutral spine, head's the last to stack the heart. Hands are at a neutral position on your legs. Taking our twist to the other side, we'll start by inhaling the arms all the way up. Press into your feet, let your fingertips kiss. And as you exhale, turn to the right. Left hand comes across the body, finds the top of that right leg, and we start to find our twist here. Inhale to lengthen, draw the navel deep into the spine. Exhale, deepen, turn to look past that right shoulder. Keep your chin slightly elevated here so we're not tucking in as that starts to manipulate the rest of the spine, especially our low back. So keeping a strong, long spine as we twist out. Mainly probably feeling this in the mid-back, but maybe also getting a little twist in the upper shoulders as well. Taking one more full breath cycle wherever you are. On the exhale, you find your release coming back to center, hands on top of the thighs. Inhale, elbows pull back, shoulders kiss behind you, look up to the sky. Exhale, release, chin to chest, hands onto the knees, pull the heart back. One more just like that. Inhale, breath will bring you back to neutral position. Head stacks all the way up over the heart. Maybe a shoulder roll here. Move the neck a little side to side. Inviting yourself to find any little movement within your practice that maybe your body's calling to you. Right hand is going to come all the way up to the sky as we inhale the breath all the way up. And as you exhale, just slowly start to let the torso come over to your left. You can take your left hand, reach it down to the ground, open up that palm, keep the full body awareness. Both hips stay connected to the seat the entire time. No lifting the feet off the ground, reaching up with each inhale. As you exhale, draw the left fingers down to the ground as the right fingers reach overhead. Nice job. Inhale, breath, both fingertips are going to kiss overhead. And as we exhale, we're just taking it to the other side, letting that right arm drop, left stays up. Inhale, lengthen both arms in opposite directions. Exhale, slowly let the torso come over to the right. Now notice here, one of our common occurrences is our shoulders want to roll forward as we're not really used to using our core here for our posture muscles. So take a second, roll that right shoulder blade back. You might feel the obliques turn on here a little bit, and then find your length from there. If it doesn't hurt the neck or it serves you to do so, feel free to look past the bicep up to the sky, still finding that opposition. Right arm reaches to the ground, actively reaching through the fingerprints as the left arm reaches all the way up. Fantastic. Inhale, come all the way back up. Fingertips are going to kiss. As we exhale, forward fold. Allow yourself to just surrender over your legs. This time,
Take advantage of tucking the chin to the chest. Begin to feel how that correlates to a little pull in the lower back. So if you suffer from any sciatic nerve pain, if you have compression in your discs, forward folds can be very therapeutic as they're designed to use gravity to traction the spine, opening up the space between each disc by just letting the head act as this natural weight. You might notice that you can start to feel the blood pooling into the head. This might be a new sensation for you. I invite you to stay as long as you can. However, if it becomes uncomfortable or maybe feeling a little unsafe, you can take an inhale, halfway lift. Think about keeping your spine as flat as you can or as straight as you can from your tailbone to your crown. Hinging from the hips. And then when you're ready to exhale, fold back in, surrender. Let the head grow heavy. You might even find a gentle sway here side to side, which is a great way to tap into your parasympathetic nervous system. So this is the rest and digest part of our nervous system. It kind of activates this idea or this concept that we hear calm, we are safe, versus the alternative where we generally operate from in today's day and age, which is more the fight or flight mode. So just enjoy the ability to shift that energy within you here, especially if it's one of your first times experiencing it. Taking your time to inhale, let your fingertips trace the legs as you slowly roll up. Think about being like a rag doll here, just slowly coming back to life. Maybe feeling a little bit of the blood drain down from your head now at the same time. Awesome sauce. We're going to take it into a little bit of a deeper hip stretch here. So before we take it into our pigeon, we're going to just take our left leg, cross it over the left. And if this is the only connection we can have at the thighs or the knees today, that's perfectly fine. If by being in the chair and not balancing, you can get deeper into your eagle legs, we're going to take that left foot and hook it underneath our right calf. Now you notice I dipped over to the side to get my grip. That's fine. Just bring yourself back to that neutral seated position where we have our shoulders stacked over our hips when you're done. Now, once we have this connection, we really want to overemphasize the sensation of compressing the legs together at the center. This is beneficial for our hips, beneficial for our knees, beneficial for our circulatory system. So continue to find that engagement. Right foot is pressing into the earth. Left foot is hooked underneath right calf. Now, if you're feeling good here and this is enough sensation, maybe just drop the arms. Palms can face forward. Finding that reach down, lifting the crown of the head. If you'd like to join me, feel free to inhale the arms all the way up to the sky. And as we exhale, the left arm is going to come underneath the right, finding a bind at the elbows. Once again, that might be the only space we have today. Maybe we have the backs of the hands touching with the shoulders pulling down away from the ears. If you have a little bit more movement available, you might be able to bring the hands into prayer position and or grab onto the thumb with the opposite hand. Either way, we're looking to cause or create the same amount of tension or constriction here in the upper body and arms that we have going on in the legs. All the while staying calm, surrendering to the position, and not creating any more or any unnecessary tension. So we're not drawing the shoulders up to the ears or squinting the face. So unclench your jaw here. Let your neck grow long. Pressing into center, but also grounding down. So remember from our breath work in the beginning, this idea of the exhale, pulling the shoulder blades down, dropping the shoulders from the ears, and then the inhale, lengthening the crown of the head. Once again, bringing more length to the neck without drawing the shoulders up any closer. Breathe here. Check back in with your breath. It's okay to have thoughts come in. It's okay to have our attention wander. We simply just anchor ourselves back to our breath and invite ourselves to start again.
Releasing the arms, let a big inhale, draw them all the way back up to the sky. Exhale, find that rain, let the fingertips move a little bit here. Once the arms are down, we can uncoil the legs. Take them out in front of you so you're on your heels, toes are pointing up towards your face, and just let yourself slowly come forward. So you don't need to go far before your hamstrings are probably going to start to talk to you. You can keep a slight bend in your knees and lead with your heart. So we're not rounding forward. We're looking to hinge from the hip and then just let the hands come where they may. Flexing the feet actively back towards the face, really feeling the backside of your legs get a nice stretch here. Imagining that there's a cliff edge right in front of you and your curiosity is just looking past to test to see before it jumps in. So keeping that length, looking out, helping keep our spine nice and long. Nice job. Slowly coming all the way back up, flat feet to the ground. We're going to take it to the other side. So go ahead and take your other side. Take your right leg up and over. Find your sensation here. See if maybe there's some movement to tuck underneath that calf muscle. If that creates too much sensation or pain within your knees, feel free to keep that foot onto the outside. This will cause you to need to bring a little bit more awareness to your inner thighs squeezing together, as that bind isn't naturally created by the hook of the foot. If you have the foot underneath the calf, you'll notice that immediately there's this squeeze towards center. Looking to keep left foot planted to the ground as best as possible with toes staying forward. Keeping that compression with both hip bones equally firm to the ground. Inhale, the arms all the way come up. Exhale, right arm comes underneath. We go for the grip. Or whatever side you didn't do already. So you're going to get a similar sensation in the upper body regardless of the bind. So if you're not sure what side you just did, just trust your instinct or feel free to swap it out. Going through your checklist here, so we continuously have this ebb and flow between checking in and surrendering. We show up into the posture, we check in with our foundation, we check in with our alignment, and then we just surrender to the breath. So we don't get deeper into a yoga pose by forcing it. The best thing I can offer to you, or the best advice I can offer to you here, is just trusting that by letting go of the need to control the outcome, you will find the result that you're looking for. So just take a little bit of grace, find your breath, and continue to check in. Let the pose work for you. Let it meet your body wherever it is today without judgment. This could be a difficult posture for you to come into. You might not have the arms bound today. You might not have the bind in the lower body, and that is perfectly fine. Honor the body that you brought here today and be grateful for the fact that you're able to do what you can. If you haven't already released the arms, go ahead and do so. Feel free to take a big breath to release that if they were bound. Once they come down, we'll take our legs all the way out. Find that extension, drawing the legs out a little straighter, micro bend in the knees, toes point fit towards your face, pressing into the heels. Big inhale breath, lengthen the spine as you exhale, slowly start to come forward, leading with the heart, hips pull back, navel draws into the spine. One more just like that. Fantastic. Coming all the way back up on that inhale, restacking the spine, planting the right foot onto the ground, coming into a seated pigeon pose, taking the left leg up and over. Use your hands to help you here. So you want to get the knife edge or the pinky edge of your foot to rest on top of your thigh. Again, this could be a little bit advanced, so take it slow. And you might notice that when you get here, all of a sudden we lose our posture in the spine, the shoulders start to round, and the knee lifts up. The knee can stay up. You can even support it with your arm. But on your next inhale, I want you to get length back in that spine, press the heart forward, shoulders back. Over time, using our breath, specifically the exhale, we'll be able to drop that knee down. Now, if it doesn't compromise your knee or your hip, you're welcome to use your palm here. And as you exhale, just gently press it down a little bit more, making sure that we keep the left foot flexed. So this is going to protect your knee by keeping that foot flexed. And if you have a lot of mobility in your hips and this isn't giving you enough sensation, remember that we can always, there it is, we can always start to lean forward. That same leading with the heart we just did in our forward fold comes back here. We're not rounding in, not tucking the chin. We're finding that launching pad from our tailbone to the crown of our head and maybe coming a little bit deeper. So a lot of times our hips can feel stuck. It's probably one of the most common ailments that we see, tight hips. This can be from a whole bunch of different things, but a lot of times too, whenever we're overly stressed in our life and we have a lot of emotional things happening, our hips are one of the parts of the body that will hold on to that tension the longest. So if you're turning on this video, coming into it, looking for a stress relief, or again, recovering from an injury or an illness, this may feel very, very tight for you if you're living in that type of tight body right now. It's not good or bad. There's no label that needs to be attached to it. Just understand why and then move through it. All right, slowly coming all the way back up. Feel free to kick that leg out, shake it out, move the ankle, bend it a couple of times just to get some of the blood flowing back down past that knee. Planting the left foot deeply onto the ground. As we inhale, right leg comes up and over. Now, it's very common to have one side of the body that feels tighter than the other. For me, this is specifically this side. So immediately I feel the sensation in my hip. I notice that my knee is higher than the other side organically, and I can notice that my posture wants to suffer. So I'm just going back to that checklist. I'm not getting mad at this side of my body for being tight. I'm just allowing it to be and working with where my body is here. Flexing that foot, gentle pressure with the exhale breath. Woo. I don't need a lot of pressure on this side for me to start to feel that. So if you are meeting me feeling that, just know you're not alone. Finding your breath here. Listening a little bit more. It's also a really nice time to give your foot a little massage if you're able to layer that on without losing any of the other foundation of the posture. It's important to remember that as we advance our practice, a lot of times we want to do all the fancy postures, all the pretty poses that you see online or whatnot. All of that stems from having a solid foundation and a solid understanding of your body. So yoga at its core means unity, which this is the invitation to connect your body to your mind, and we use our breath to help us do so. A lot of times every time, show up on our mat and our minds are in that monkey brain mode where there's everything going on. The to-do list is never ending. So this is the time to just allow for that to sit on the back burner, to use your breath to bring your mind back to what your body is going through right now, to notice how little movements or little adjustments can change the sensations that you're feeling. And once you gain that body intelligence, then you become more aware of how your body moves in the space around you. And that is then how we can work on advancing our practice, if that's the goal. If not, you just get to know yourself a whole heck of a lot better. Win-win. All right, enough talking for me. We'll bring that leg out. Go ahead and find a little movement here. Notice how that's feeling. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to take the left leg out to the side. You're going to get a little frisky here, but you got this. You're going to come into a warrior two stance. So with the help of the chair, it's kind of right underneath me, if you will, almost my entire right thigh is still resting on the chair. So I'm not balancing in any way, shape, or form. I have the foundation of the chair underneath me. From here, we can start to notice the foundations of what we need in Warrior 2. So our front foot, in this case right now, is our right foot. Toes are pointing forward. Heel, if we were to look to the back foot, would intersect with an imaginary line at the arch of our back foot. Now in the chair, it's kind of easy to press through the knife edge or the pinky side of that foot. When we're standing, a lot of times what happens is we cave into that arch and we compromise that knee, which we don't want to do. So really here, feel that rotation in your ankle. Feel yourself pressing through that ankle knuckle that I call, and find that pinky edge of your foot. Allow that to become muscle memory so that when we stand, not today, when we stand without the chair, that is a go-to. From here, our arms come out, palms face down. That reoccurring theme of shoulders dropping away from the ears come back, as well as full body awareness, as these are not just spaghetti noodles flopping away in the wind. We're pressing through the fingers, reaching out, feeling the arms activate. And you might start to feel this in your legs. You might start to feel a little quiver. And over time, as your bravery and your curiosity lifts you up, you can, I'm going to try here without getting off my yoga mat, you can try to lift yourself up off your chair, knowing that it's there for you to come back down to whenever you're ready. But if you want to press into your feet, tuck the tailbone underneath you, inner thighs turn on, you might come up off that chair for a breath or two. If that's not today, don't worry about it. Just know that it's there when it's ready for you. Front knee is stacked over that front ankle. Flip your front hand, and as you inhale, don't move your legs, but let the torso take you forward. And as you exhale, imagine scooping all that energy, bringing it back with you, finding reverse warrior. Just like when we were in our side body stretch, roll that right shoulder blade back, look past the bicep, reach in opposite directions here. So left fingers reach down the leg, right arm reaches overhead. Take an inhale breath, come all the way back up and cartwheel the arm so that the right elbow lands on top of the thigh, and then we let that left arm come up overhead. Try not to put too much weight here. Still stay active, lengthening out that left leg. Now we roll the left shoulder back and reach overhead. Nice job. Keep the feet the way that they are, but now we're going to turn our shoulders to face that front leg, coming into Warrior 2. Now, it's very common to get about halfway in your turn, so to speak, and feel stuck. It's not easy to get your hips to turn all the way open. Keep pressing through that back foot. Think about pulling the right hip back with the right arm and pressing the left hip forward. Reach all the way up to the sky. Breathe here. You're doing fantastic. Exhale, hands are going to come to prayer. We're going to reach the arms behind you. Interlace your fingers. Press your knuckles down that left leg, reaching them down. Now, if you want to start coming a little forward, the chair is going to get in your way for a full humble warrior, but you can still press into that front foot. Think about coming into the inner part of that thigh and start to lift your arms up just a little bit, starting to rinse out your shoulders. If you're doing any strength training, any shoulder work, this is a great way to break up any soreness or tenderness in your shoulders. Awesome. Go ahead and release that. Bring your hands back to your chair to help you. Scoot yourself back into center. Let your toes point out. Knees are going to be wide as well. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up to the sky. Exhale, goddess. Pull the elbows down. Think about your arms like a field goal post. Pull the shoulder blades together, open up. Think about how we did that seated cat pose, and the heart pulls forward and everything just opens up. Inhale, arms reach up to the sky. Exhale, hands come through heart center. Nice work. Let's take it to the other side. Scoot yourself in your chair. Now you might notice, for example, my back foot's kind of coming off my yoga mat. So In a perfect world, I would go ahead and move my chair just a little bit off center just to give that back leg a little bit more length. So if you need to make that adjustment, feel free to do so. Checking in with our checklist, bring it back to your foundation, stack knee over ankle, have the front foot pointing straight with the heel behind it, and then find that line to the back arch. Arms reach out, palms down, shoulders roll down and back. Maybe, just maybe, you take a second, press into your feet, feel the glutes support you, feel that strength. You still have the leg on that chair for a little bit of support. Look past your front fingers and smile. Now slowly drop yourself back down, even if you lifted. Take that front palm, flip it up. Inhale, torso forward. Exhale, draw it all the way back. Reverse warrior. No collapsing in that support arm. Find that opposition. Reach down and up. Roll the shoulder back and open up your side body. Inhale, come all the way forward. Let that left elbow find the thigh as you reach your right arm overhead. Roll the shoulder blade back. Look past the bicep and get that beautiful stretch all the way from your ankle out through your fingertips. Nice job. Taking it back into that warrior one on this side. So we're going to turn to face that left leg. Back foot is going to stay turned. If you need to turn it in a little bit more, that might help get your rotation here. When we're standing, I usually like to find 1 or 2, if not 3 breath cycles that let me pull my left hip back, pressing the opposite forward. And sometimes putting your hands on your hips will show you where your hips are pointed. So if they're not pointed straight, that's how we know we have a little bit more work to do. If this is completely impossible for you today, feel free to come off that back heel and take it more into a crescent lunge, still using the chair for support and pressing through the heel. If you're living in a tight body and your hips will not let you turn in warrior 2, lift that back heel and find crescent. From there, we still lift the arms all the way up overhead. You know I'm going to tell you, keep your shoulders away from your ears. Breathe here. Exhale, breath, hands come behind the body. Interlace the fingers as you press down that right leg. Lift up through your chest. And maybe on an exhale, slowly start to fold forward. If you're lifted off that back heel in more of a crescent, press the energy through your heel. Feel the quad turn on. Feel the kneecap lift. And make sure you keep pressing into that front foot. Not using your toes, but the 4 corners of that front foot. Inhale, bring yourself all the way back up. Fingertips can reach overhead. Exhale, turn to center. Bring your hands to your chair, taking yourself back to that wide-legged position. Toes point out. Inhale, breath, arms reach all the way up to the sky. Exhale, goddess pose. Pull yourself all the way down. Inhale, hands reach up. Exhale, let your hands rain all the way back down. Bringing your legs back towards the front. We're going to take that forward fold one more time here to release the tension in that lower back. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, let it all go.
This time, maybe let the arms come to the back side of the legs, grabbing onto opposite wrist or opposite forearm, keeping the equal distance between the hips, the knees, and the heels, and then tucking the chin into the chest. Maybe there's enough mobility in the back now that it's almost like the knees become earmuffs here. Noticing the more we tuck the chin, the more we support the natural curvature of your spine, allowing for things to just open back up, releasing any residual tension that you might have, and just taking a second here to surrender. Releasing the grip of the hands if you have one, letting the fingertips find the front side of the legs once again as we inhale, taking our time to roll
all the way back up, allowing yourself to feel renewed, feeling all the work of your practice come full circle, bringing the hands to the lap, close your eyes. Draw the breath in through the nose, exhale through the mouth. 2 more just like that. One last time. Great job today. Namaste.